Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So, kind of continuing on with the same theme of, I don't know if it will be the last video, because I'm not sure what order I'm putting these out in, right? But I put out a video talking about character rebalancing, and that came up because of seeing various feedback from other players, okay? One of the other things that I've seen feedback from, and I see feedback from this all the time, is events and people talking about lack of variety in events. We either get the Workbench, we either get the Battle Lust event, or we get some variation of it. And this event has kind of brought it to the forefront again, okay? And I like to talk about that because I don't know if everyone is necessarily looking at things in the right way. This is a TED Talk type video. I want your opinion on this. But I think I'm trying to look at this from the perspective of the developers, okay? Now, people say, we want something new, all the time, right? They do, you guys all know. This event, it's new. Can anyone disagree with that? No, I don't think they can. This event is new. Overwhelmingly, I've seen a lot of comments saying, this event sucks. I don't like the way that they broke up this event. I don't like the way that we've got a portal and that portal had 3 days cooldown, then the next one had 3 days cooldown. I don't like that they've got these weird puzzles. I don't like this and I don't like that. Then you've got the other players who are, this is awesome, I like this, I like the fact that we've got something a little bit different to interact with, blah blah blah. And then you've got players like me who, honestly, I see the bosses as the content, to be honest, and I'm going to explain why I actually think that this is the real content for any event. I truly do, right? But as a developer, if you're trying to gauge feedback and you see players, we want something new, we want something new, we want something new, and then you finally deliver something a bit different, and then you see, oh, this sucks, why do we have to wait? Why is this here? Why have we got puzzles? Why have we got this? Why have we got that? You're like, you complained less when we just gave you the same thing all the time. So why would we try and do something different if all it's going to do is make you complain anyway? So as a developer, I can see why they maybe don't venture too far outside their wheelhouse, okay? Some of you, but not all of you, some of you may not like the Workbench. I personally don't like the Workbench, the reason being, if it even happens now, it's going to happen on the last day. I still don't have the critical red gem. I know people who had this critical red gem before the third boss or on the third boss, and I compete with them for score. And they've got one of the gems that is likely to give them the highest boost to their score. And because of RNG, I've still not got it. I would rather have a Workbench, a Battle Lust event where my effort can directly affect my gameplay. Whereas this way, it doesn't. It's luck. What happens, what rolls down the pond or rolls down the hill towards me, I've got no control over that. I've got to use the tools that I get drawn out of a lucky bag, basically, and I don't think that this event, the Workbench, I don't think it's actually as good as the Battle Lust. I think the other Workbench from the Devil May Cry one was better, fighting the bosses, choosing certain debuffs, etc. But I still appreciate the fact they've tried to do something different. I just don't necessarily think that sentiment carries throughout the entire player base. So, if you need to look at it from a point of view of you're the developer, you, person watching this video, you're the developer, why would you keep trying new things if all you ever see when you do is, this sucks, that sucks, this sucks, that sucks? I mean, I can tell people right now, and I've actually answered this question directly in another chat that I'm in. Someone brought up, why is it we have these portals? Why are they gated? Why can we not just do them all day one? There's a reason for that. They gate the content because if they don't gate the content, you will finish it in one day. One day you will finish the content. Then what? Instead of saying, this event sucks, I can't believe I've got to wait 3 days to do the next bit, and then 3 days to do the next bit. That statement would change to, this event sucks, I cleared it all in a day, what now? So they can't win either way. So they either drip feed you the content, or they give you all the content, then you've got nothing to do, and you're crying out for more content. Now, I said before that I actually believe that these bosses are the main content of the game. Why do I say that? Now, outside of one team, which is the Flame Aeon team, okay? I mean, yes, you can put some variation in that, but let's be honest, it's pretty much the Flame Aeon team. You have bosses who act differently. To get the best scores against those bosses, you're running different teams, you're running different tactics, different timing, and all the rest of it. The way that you tackle these bosses changes all the time, apart from Flame Aeon, right? That is your content. That is your content, right? Now, again, some of you might say, oh, but Hayzink, it's just a couple of bosses. Go look at other games. Go look at Dokkan. Go look at 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Go look at Black Clover Mobile. They've all got something in common. They have the same recurring events. Black Clover, you have a raid boss that comes up like every 2 weeks, and that boss might have different weaknesses. So, to get the most points against that boss, you will run different teams. That's no different to this, okay? You will have Dokkan, new characters drop. What do you do when a new character drops? You run the same level about 10 times, get some medals, level it up, and then possibly you will have like a boss you can fight, which will give you more unlocks or whatever. And then every month you'll have a world tournament. It's the same event structure. If you go and look at every single gacha game on the market, every single one of them, and you actually boil it down to their core elements, they're all the same. When they deliver their content is always the same. The package, the way that maybe they tart it up and deliver it to you, it maybe looks a bit different, but ultimately, if you're playing a game that is a team battler 4v4, then the content is always going to be either your 4 units versus a boss, or your 4 units versus 2, 3, 4 individual enemies. And the way that you score in those events and rank on those leaderboards is by using different units within your box. That is what these bosses are. That's it. Honestly, if they took these events and partied them up and put a different lick of paint on them, I honestly think people would think they were new events. But they're not. They would be the same thing. So, while I would like to see, I suppose, new content, like a real boss rush. What I mean by a real boss rush is have a Mortal Kombat style ladder, where maybe you've got a boss, you move up the ladder every 5 stages, your team would get a set of buffs, something like that. Or if you didn't want the buffs, you could maybe choose like an energy refill, because you've got one team. How far can you take that team? At the end of the period, whoever's highest on the leaderboard, whoever's going up the most amount of ladders, they would get the rewards. That to me would be new content. It would still be the same content, because it is just quite literally stages. That's all you're ever going to get. But it would be presented differently, and it'd be a more avenues to get more rewards. But ultimately, what I'm trying to really get at here is, when it comes to them making sweeping or broad changes to the game, I don't think it will happen, because people, at least these people who are outspoken, are not necessarily always that positive about the changes that we have. And I've seen a lot of complaints, a lot of moaning, and I actually think that, you know what, Portal, okay, was it really different? No, because if you actually look at it, all they really did was take the puzzles that would have been in here, took them out and put them into a map system. That's why there's no puzzles here. There's no puzzles here because they ended up in here. That's why. So I don't necessarily think that I do think, sorry, that there is possibly the chance that the developers, because are they petty? I don't know. I don't know, right? They might be. But they might just think, do you know what? They're never happy with what we do give them, so why would we change it? Just leave it as they are. Because all we're going to do is bring out some new event, some new mode, and people are just going to complain anyway. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but you know, I just feel like that's possibly what's happening. It just seems to me that while I know it's not everyone, and it's not everyone, a lot of you guys are like, oh cool, it was nice, just a breath of fresh air to see something like one of the older events we got with Akuma and that type of thing, which is what this is. But there's a hell of a lot of people who have just complained, oh these puzzles suck, oh this portal system sucks, oh that sucks, oh that sucks. Rather than that, I mean, maybe say, you know what, I think this would be better if it was maybe this style. I appreciate it, but I think maybe change it slightly. I would like it, not just blanket this sucks, that sucks, because again, I feel like that's possibly why they're not always willing to give us new stuff. At least I hope so. I just kind of, I don't mean I get sick. Saying I get sick of reading negativity sounds bad coming from me, because people think I'm negative. Like, generally speaking, people think I'm negative. But honestly, I'm not. I'm really not. I mean, if you go back and you look, all the stuff I was called negative about, there's an old saying, which your chickens are coming home to roost. It's playing out now. Like, I get called negative because I said month 2, month 3, we're going to have serious issues in this game if they don't do something about the dupes. And everyone thought, oh, you're just a whale. That's the only reason it affects you. You're just a whale. And I'm like, but no, over time this is going to affect you as well. I've just seen it faster than you because I summon more than you. But there'll come a point in time where this will affect you. Oh no, Hayzink, you're just moaning, you're just complaining, blah blah blah. You know, talking about ways for new players to get more legendary characters. Look at it now, people wish you could get legendary characters. Pity, although I'm blamed for Pity not being here in the first place, I said a long time ago, if we had Pity, the game would be doing a lot better. Just look at this month, just look at the positivity around summons and stuff. Obviously, if we'd had Pity, it would be a lot better. You know, so I don't actually think anything that I said back then was negative. It was constructive criticism, and if they'd implemented it, I think the game right now would be sitting at a better way. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent this time. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I overreacting? Do you think that the event did suck? Do you think people should maybe form their criticism in a bit of a different way rather than just, oh, this sucks, this is shit, I don't like it? Give feedback. Speaking of feedback, check out that video I put out yesterday. There's a link pinned top comment. Go fill in the form. Doesn't matter if you're banned in the Discord. I've taken it off the Discord, put it straight onto YouTube. So go fill that form out, give your feedback, but let me know in the comments down below what you think. I've been Hayzink, I've been ranting. Catch you in the next one. Peace.